Hey everyone, this is Ian from ECC and wanted to share something I've been working on with you all. I've been working on this on nights and weekends in my spare time. It's called ZecHub, and the intention is to be another education resource in the Zcash community. And going to, at a high level, explain why I did this, what I'm looking forward to with this project in the future, and how everyone in the community could support. The first thing is, I think that there's a lot of great education materials that are being spun up right now in the Zcash community, but I've seen comments in various sections on Twitter and the forums, etc., that people are interested in guerrilla type marketing tactics where people in the community, take on the responsibility of creating education and creating those peer-to-peer sources of information. So I use ZecHub as a way to do that for myself personally. And the way I've structured it, I intend on allowing community members to come in and be a part of the content creation process and the education process, and we'll get to how to do that here soon. So that's why I've done this. What this is ZecHub's going to be a Zcash Wikipedia. Eventually, this is the website that we're on right now, and eventually would want that Wikipedia to get built into the website. I'm not very good at writing HTML, so I honestly couldn't do it. So I used the third-party service to build this front page, this landing page, and linked out all these different links here in the bottom to different sites where the content's going to live for now. So the Wikipedia is going to live on Notion. We'll click into that here. So when you go into this right now, it's just move my head over to the right. This is just a simple Zcash Wikipedia with a bunch of different information on what Zcash is, some resources, best accounts to follow on social media, and then also using Zec the currency with some tutorials. I know people have seen my tutorials. One of the places that they're living is here in this Wikipedia, and the intention of this is just to have a great place for someone, if they're coming to Zcash for the first time, to come and just get into this document and learn about all things Zcash. So need to make a few updates before I announce this, like all the logos right here, all the little icons are little Zcash logos, and probably want to customize it and freshen it up a bit. So we'll work on that tonight as well. The next thing here is the newsletter. Everyone, I think, saw this from Friday on Twitter. I posted this, actually posted it for my personal Substack, but now moved it over to the ZecHub Substack. Zec Weekly, so just a weekly newsletter that goes out with all the key links and all the news that happened in the Zcash ecosystem from that week, and it's going to hit people's inbox every Friday morning. So excited to be building that. And then lastly, we have a podcast and YouTube channel. The podcast, I don't have a link to it yet, but I'm planning on doing a podcast and currently in the process of scheduling a few different episodes with members of the Zcash community to touch on a lot of different topics. I'm not expecting to be the best interviewer, but I am expecting, to get that ball rolling and get other people interested in potentially doing a Zcash podcast or coming and working with me on this and potentially hosting some themselves. So if you're a community member and want to work with me on a podcast, please reach out. Happy to pass off the reins to someone else there. Help just come join and help build that if you're interested. The last thing I want to show here is the YouTube channel. So sorry for that little sound blurb there. But the YouTube channel right now is currently just consisting of wallet demos and something I'm doing called Zec Daily. I haven't shared a Zec Daily yet, but all Zec Daily is a daily update on all the news that happened in the Zcash ecosystem. It right now is happening like every 2 to 3 days, but this is a really cool thing for people who don't want to read a newsletter or just want to see a tweet at 9 a.m. Because it's going out at 9 a.m. Central Time every day. Get a tweet and just watch it. 6 to 10 minute video on all the news and get up to date on everything and hear an opinion on it. Again, I'm the only one doing this right now, but if a community member wants to take on working on something like Zec Daily, please feel free to reach out and we can collab on that. So to get to the actual aspect of how we would collaborate, we're going to go here to the ZecHub GitHub. And here in the GitHub, we have a few different sections. So in the introduction here, we're just going over what ZecHub is going to work on. And I think the biggest thing is how to make changes for it. If you have a GitHub account, all you have to do is go into the GitHub repo, which is linked in all the Wikidocs. So if you go into a Wikidoc, there's a footer at each document that says if you want to edit this or if the page is not completed, if it's something that needs to be done. If you want to complete this page, go to the repo and submit a pull request with all the content you want to add. It's super simple. Just come into GitHub and submit a PR, and and yeah, that's a way to, one, decentralize the workload and have other people collaborate on this project. And the other thing too is like, I'm not right about everything, and I know that, and you don't want single points of failure in cryptocurrency education, in my opinion. So something I think is really interesting is that if we could get community members to like review the documents and submit pull requests and update information or clarify certain statements or add content to the documents, I think that's a really interesting way to, one, create a better product, and two, decentralize the efforts around this project. So that's things I'm really interested in with this project and looking forward to it. Quick caveat, this all operates off donations. I personally do not think at this moment in time, because I work with ECC and have a full-time job, I'm not going to be taking any of the money from the donation fund. But if you like this project and want to see it succeed in the future, if you appreciate the work that it's doing, this project is going to heavily rely on independent contributors. I'm not planning on applying for a Zcash grant to fund this, so it's all going to be funded by community donations. And if you want more people to contribute, that means there needs to be more money in this fund to pay those people when they do contribute. So I'm thinking about creating things like a bounty board, creating a Learn Zcash like education program. So where, like how Coinbase did it with Coinbase Learn, how can we like incentivize people to download a wallet and get some ZEC loaded up into their wallet and send a transaction? Like, is there a way we can monetize participation? All of those types of ideas would need to get funded by the donations program here. So if you're interested in seeing this type of thing take off, please consider donating to that address with a Z2Z transaction. And navigating the GitHub is really simple. We have a newsletter section to where if like you want to contribute to adding links to the newsletter, you go into there. If you want to edit the Notion site, there's a few docs that only live on Notion. You can check that out. If you want to edit the site and or Notion site, together, because all the site docs do go to the Notion doc, you can edit those there. You can add tutorials and different types of media in folders. So if you wanted to add like a folder that was like a wallet explainer, you could just add a file and request to submit a file with a document or with a video explaining a wallet or something in that nature. You could definitely do that. And then we have like the README, which is the intro, and then also the template. So if you want to add, if you wanted to add content, we just follow the simple template of a title, a section header, and a subsection header, and we use numbers and not bullet points. And then obviously the footer that I mentioned, that's going to be at the bottom of every page. So yeah, that's the GitHub. So just going back to kind of explaining how all of this is going to work, the wiki is going to function as a place where people who are not familiar with Zcash or might be familiar with cryptocurrencies and are interested in learning about Zcash can go and learn just a little bit more and have a little bit more in-depth introduction to Zcash and ZEC. The newsletter is just a weekly update on all things that are happening in the Zcash ecosystem. The podcast is going to be long-form conversations with Zcash community members around various topics, including the technical side of Zcash, why people are interested in it from a financial perspective, why people are interested in it from an activism and human rights perspective, and all those different topics. So going to try to keep it as lighthearted as possible as well. Don't want everything to be like super serious about the conversations, but I'm going to be doing that in the podcast format. And then also the YouTube channel where ZEC Daily and all tutorials, wallet explainers, etc. are going to live. That's going to be a really great education hub for people just trying to get quick videos on how to learn how to run a Z2Z transaction, or learn how to download a Zcash wallet, or learn what the difference between a transparent and a shielded wallet address is. All that information is going to live on YouTube. So we do have a Twitter account. I'd recommend checking it out. It's at ZecHub, and I'm going to be tweeting this or retweeting this from that Twitter account and sharing that all with you. Really excited to be working on this. And yeah, if you're interested in collabing, please follow the ZecHub Twitter account, DM me on Twitter, on my Twitter account or the ZecHub Twitter account, and we can talk about how you can get involved. Thank you so much for your time, and really excited to be sharing this with you all and continuing to work on it. So have a great day.